Hello and welcome to episode 18 of season 2 of the McCourt College Experience Parsha podcast. This week was a bittersweet week for me, your host, as I will be resigning from my position as morning Rebbe for the McCourt College Experience. We had a special event where we discussed all of our accomplishments together over the past 2 years, including this fun and informative podcast, hilarious Purim spiels, a fundraiser events, and most of all, the Torah we've completed and the relationships we've made. It has been my privilege and honor to be the morning Shir Rebbe, and I look forward to seeing the new heights the McCourt College Experience will reach in the future. Please keep in touch. But we still have some podcasts left while I'm still the sound engineer. So now let's get to our Divrei Torah.
In this week's Parsha, the Yidden wanted to send spies to Eretz Yisrael. The reason why the Yidden wanted to send spies to Eretz Yisrael was because they were afraid to fight against the 7 nations. They were 1 day away from Eretz Yisrael. Because they sinned, they had to wander in the desert for 40 years. The spies could have given a good report, but instead they spoke Lashon Hara about Eretz Yisrael. And then the Yidden were so scared that they started crying. So therefore, Hashem said, going forward, Tisha B'Av will always be a day of mourning. How do we bring back the third base? And one event will be that the Beis Hamikdash will be destroyed. We bring back another Beis Hamikdash by showing the moon on Hashem.
Right, so the reason why we have a lot of tragedy on this day is in a way because we didn't believe that we could do it. We didn't believe in ourselves, right?
Yes.
Okay, Yasher Koach. Good lesson, important lesson. All right, Simcha, go ahead.
And this week's Parsha talks about Moshe sends spies to land of Canaan that had given to the Jewish people. In the Parsha Devarim, Moshe reminisces about the events that occurred to the Jewish people for 40 years in the desert. He reveals a different incentive for sending the spies. And you all drew near to me and said, "Let us send men ahead of us to spy out the land." After the people made this request, Moses consulted God to determine what to do, and God allowed the expedition to take place.
Yasher Koach. Okay, Ezzy, go ahead.
This episode of The Spies makes Hashem so angry that he wanted to destroy Israel. Moshe convinced Hashem to not act on his anger, but to act on his mercy. In Brachot, Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha and offered a blessing to Hashem, that Hashem act in accordance with his mercy and compassion over his retribution and justice, in order for us to live our lives with blessings. We too much strive to be less judgmental and more compassionate.
That concludes this week's episode. Thank you to our contributors, Yehoshua, Ezzy, and Simcha. Thanks to our video editor, Max, who will be taking a break from editing to work on other projects. We hope to see you back on the podcast soon, Max. Thanks to Danny, who has taken up the second responsibility of being our co-video editor, in addition to being our YouTube manager. Thanks to Reb Yosef Silfin, our co-producer and teacher. I'm your sound engineer, Rabbi Shor. Thank you for listening, and Shabbat Shalom.